Hello, challenge team. It's Jennifer, and I wanted to talk to you today about clean eating in its most basic form. I wanted to show you really quick. If you go out onto Google and you type, "What is clean eating?" Definition pops up right there for you. Clean eating is a deceptively simple concept. At its simplest, clean eating is about eating whole foods or real foods, those that are or minimally processed, refined, or handled, making them as close to their natural form as possible. And that is exactly the definition that we are embracing during this free clean eating group, okay? And as you can see, there are a ton of articles out here. I would recommend to you start educating yourself. Just start reading articles if you're interested in this and see where it takes you. But really, if you want to go down to the bare bones basics, which is exactly where I started my journey, this is exactly the definition that we're going to embrace. So I'm over in our challenge group, and I wanted to show you actually how to get to where I am. A little bit of navigation here. So I'm going to go right into our challenge group. And I have some resources loaded for you that I wanted to share with you. And I hope that you've been poking around this group. You cannot hurt anything by exploring the group. There's so many different things in here. The one thing I wanted to show you was under photos, under albums, and then if you click on resources, there's a whole folder full of picture resources in here for you. And what I wanted to talk to you about today is this one here. We have to wait for it to come into focus on my computer. This is the quote-unquote 21-day fix food list. Our portion control system is now called Fixate. So you could also call this the Fixate food list, okay? So our version of clean eating has this list published. And what you could do really, and this is what I did at first, was print this list out, put one on your refrigerator, and keep one in your purse. Take one with you when you go grocery shopping. The most simple thing that you can do, if we leave meal plans out of it, and fancy recipes out of it, and fancy ingredients out of it, the most easy, basic thing you can do is next time you go grocery shopping, fill your buggy with only items from this list. Okay? So you can see here, the green represents vegetables, the purple is fruits, the red is meats, the yellow is carbs, the blue is going to be your nuts, your avocados, your cheeses, and then your orange will be seeds, and also peanuts fall into that category. And then your teaspoon is going to be your healthy fats. We also have the free foods listed. You can have as much of these free foods as you like, okay? So I do want to point out to you that the list is arranged in order. So best choices at the top of the list, and then they're ranked down in order from best choice to least best choice, okay? So what I did at first, I printed this list. I just went through and I highlighted all of the things that my family would enjoy. And when I went to the grocery store, I made sure that before I checked out, every single item was on this list somewhere. If it wasn't on the list, I had to go put it back. And that was sad. But I did it because I was focused on my health and my family's health. So at the very bare bones, basic minimum, this is exactly what you could do for yourself. Okay, so if you leave everything, all those recipes, meal plans, everything out of it, you could literally start there. Okay, so like I said, do a buggy check before you leave the grocery store. Look in your buggy and say, okay, honestly, self, are all of these things on this clean eating list? And if they're not, I'm going to go put them back. And then you just do that over and over, and then it becomes a habit. Now, some people want to say, well, if I don't get my kids their sugar cereal, they're going to freak out. Or if I take my husband's frozen pizza away from him, he's going to leave me, or so on and so forth. I'm going to have to wager a guess that if you explain to your loved ones the mission that you are on and the fact that you need to do this just for a little while to get a strong foundation on what you're doing and that you're doing it for their benefit as well, that you may have some buy-in for them. They may surprise you and give you support that you never expected. Okay. So that's where I would really like everyone to start. Is so the next trip to the grocery store, I'm going to challenge you to print this list out and take it with you and see if you can fill your buggy with these foods. And then what you do, you go home and you make really delicious recipes with the ingredients that you chose. Okay. How do you find these recipes, Jennifer? Well, it's like the amazing Oz. If you ever watched The Wizard of Oz, the great and powerful Oz, Google. Google and Pinterest, right? So the free foods here is water. You can have as much water as you like with lemon or lime juice, which is the actual lime juice, fresh, not from the container. And there's mustard, herbs, ginger, garlic, green onions. These are all things that you can have without even worrying about counting portions. Now, these foods up here, you are going to worry about portion sizes because even though we're eating fresh whole foods, you still need to pay close attention to your portion sizes, okay? So I did post a portion size cheat sheet up in the resources folder for you. You can check that out, and you can also talk to your coach about how many containers of each color you would get per day. There's a little equation that you would use to figure that out. And you can talk to your coach about that, and she will help you figure all of that out. I also wanted to mention this next resource. I would also print this out and take it with you to the store. So many people equate clean eating with all organic, and the objection that I get a lot of times, I can't afford all that organic, grass-fed, all that the fancy ingredients, and I wouldn't even know where to buy them or where to start, and they get so many excuses, and I just say, take a deep breath. You don't need all that. Okay, you really don't. And that is my personal opinion. There's so many opinions out there, but in my personal opinion, based on my experience, you don't need all that. Okay? If you're looking at this as like a weight loss and fitness journey, you don't need all that. You don't need to invest all that money. If it's not in your budget, don't do it. If you really, really, really want to invest in the organic foods, focus on the Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen there are, it's on the left-hand side. Those are fruits and vegetables out in the market that are known to have the highest level of insecticides on them. So if you are going to buy organic, you want to get those organic, okay? Now the Clean 15 over on the right-hand side, you don't have to worry about those. Those are foods with the actual lowest level of pesticides, and they're safe to buy conventional. What my family does is in the spring, summer, and fall, we have our own garden. We harvest our own vegetables right here. So we don't have to worry about the insecticides during those months. Okay. And then we also visit local farms and farmers markets for whatever we haven't grown here. Okay. And it's a lot cheaper to do that as well. And you're supporting your local business economy as well. So we go that route. And then, of course, what we do, I do buy all of my foods dirty, basically. I don't really buy organic foods, and some people will gasp and like, you know, maybe judge me a little bit, but it's just not in our budget to do that. So what we do is I buy everything conventional, bring it home, and wash it in water and white vinegar in a mixture. I soak everything, scrub it off. So that's what I do. But you're going to have to find what works for you. This can fit into anybody's budget. It really can. You just may have to do it differently than the next person. So never compare yourself to other people. Maybe they have a little more money in their budget for the organic foods. and maybe you don't. Or maybe you have more money for the organic grass-fed foods, but maybe your neighbor doesn't. Everybody's journey is their own and everybody will be different, okay? But it's better to start small, right, than to do nothing at all. Hey, that rhymes. I'm like a poet. But it's better to do something for yourself versus nothing. So if you have to get the conventional foods because it just that's what fits into your budget, then do it. It's better than buying a box of processed macaroni and cheese or the cardboard frozen pizzas with all those chemicals, right? So those are some tips that I have for you. And another thing I want to say is don't expect yourself to be perfect. You're going to buy mostly uh, clean foods, right? There's going to be a slip up here and there. There's going to be times when you maybe make a choice that has a few chemicals in the ingredients, or maybe you slipped up and didn't do the less than three or let it be rule, less than three ingredients or leave it be. There's just going to be those times, and sometimes you're going to make okay choices versus great choices. Leave perfection out of this. You are changing your life literally one bite of food at a time, one meal at a time, one day at a time. Leave perfection out of it. If you expect yourself to be perfect, you will fail. That's just a statistic. We don't need to be perfect. We need to be real. And real people make mistakes. So just if you make a mistake with this, give yourself permission to be a beginner, first of all. Everybody's a beginner. Nobody starts with the knowledge that they need for any journey. So be a beginner, learn, be a learner, read, do research, get in a challenge group, do whatever you're going to do, but be a beginner, be a learner, and don't expect yourself to be perfect. Okay, I talk to people every day, all day long, and one of my jobs as a coach is to foster belief in people. And so many people start to believe that a change is not possible for them because they hold unrealistic expectations for themselves and they expect themselves to be perfect. This is a journey. It's kind of like life. There's going to be ups, downs, bumps, twists, good times, bad times. But doing something is better than doing nothing, right? Okay. So that's my little soapbox for the day. I want to thank you so much for viewing this video. What I'd like you to do is at your next shopping trip this week, take a picture of your buggy and post it to the group. So we want to see what kind of food choices you have, and we want to see your face in the picture as well. So get yourself in there, a little selfie with your food buggy so we can see what you've chosen and post it up for us. And don't be nervous about that. This is a secret group. This is a closed group, and it's a no judgment zone. So like for me, my food buggy often has some like Hawaiian punch for the kids in there, or it'll have pretzels in there for my daughter. So there are things that creep into our buggy as well at times, and I'm not perfect. So nobody's perfect. Post up a picture of your buggy when you go grocery shopping. Everybody who does that in the group is going to get their name entered in a drawing, and I'm going to pull one name out, and that person is going to win a super fun prize from yours truly. But you have to post your buggy picture in order to get your name in, okay? All right, you guys, you have a great and healthy day. Please post any questions you have below. I'm sure that I probably missed something. As I said, I'm not perfect either. And so ask your questions. This is your week to get your answers. Take every single thing you can from this group. Get every single piece of information that you can out of us. So ask away. You guys have a great and happy day. Thank you so much.